Let's imagine it's Jim Harbaugh and Billy Belichick as the only two candidates that we have available to interview for the Falcons job. The question that I have is, who is the best fit for this current Atlanta Falcons team? Who is Arthur Blank gonna choose, and what are the he's gonna base it on? Let's go over the coaches. The guy I despise the most, the guy that I think personally is a piece of crap because he screwed with my Falcons in 2017. And the guy who had Tom Brady and his oh so demonstrous championship reigns from 2000 to 2023. Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick, he started out with Baltimore in 1975, where he was a special assistant. Detroit Lions in 76, where he was also an assistant for special teams. Detroit Lions again in 1977, where he moved up as a receivers coach. And in 1978, he was an assistant coach for special teams and a defensive assistant for the Denver Broncos. Now for the New York Giants. He was a linebackers coach in 1980 through 1984 and a special teams coach as well. Then he moved on up with the Giants in 85 to 90 by becoming their defensive coordinator. With the Cleveland Browns from 91 to 95, he was the head coach. For the first time, he was the head coach of an NFL team, ladies and gentlemen. Then he went to the Patriots as an assistant head coach and defensive back in 1996. 1997 to 99, he was a New York Jets assistant head coach and defensive coordinator. But then, in 2000, Mr. Kraft, he wanted Billy to be part of his coaching staff, to be the head coach of New England Patriots. Well, not mine, not yours either, but he won 8 Super Bowls. He won 8 freaking Super Bowls in total. 6 with the Patriots. But to be exact, it was more Tom Brady won those 6 championships for Billy and Mr. Kraft and the Patriots organization. Now you're asking me, how do I know this? Well, he hasn't won a championship since Tom Brady left. But yet Tom Brady went to Tampa and he has proven himself an amazing student of the game, student of Coach Belichick, and an improved player overall. Basically, what I'm trying to tell you is, homie got a ring without Belichick. But Belichick can't get a ring without homie Tom Brady. Now, he's the type of person that, if you bring him into the organization, he wants complete control, full demand of everything. And that is something that Arthur Blank might not like at all. Arthur Blank is not the type of person to be letting go of control. He wants to know and have levels of control at each step. President, general manager, a head coach, where they go up with whatever questions, recommendations, or suggestions that they have. And then, once it gets to Rich McKay at the presidential level, he goes to owner Arthur Blank, the greatest owner in football. I'm saying it once, I'm saying it twice. Hey, you, Arthur Blank, greatest owner ever. Okay? Now let's go to option 2. Option 2. We have Jim Harbaugh. Oh, God. He was an Oakland Raiders quarterback coach from 2000 to 2003. He was a San Diego College or University coach in 2004 and 2006. Brought them up. He brought back Stanford University from 2007 to 2010, competing against the likes of Pete Carroll and other powerhouses within the Pac-10 or Pac-12, whatever it was called at that time. Then he made a big splash. He came to save the day in San Francisco, ladies and gentlemen. He had a team that probably was 7-6 and 8, 7 and 9, whatever the hell the score would have been. And he molded them into the team that he wanted. Kept going to NFC championships. Kept going. Well, at least he went once. To fight for a Super Bowl ring, baby. He didn't get it, but he fought for it. How many people could say that? Yet still, his team was consistent with the 49ers. And they let him go. I have no idea why, but it was time for them to move on, I guess. Then came calling his alma mater, Michigan. He was there from 2015 all the way up to 2023. Present. Could still go back. But here's the deal. He reformed a crappy team. He made the team go from a crappy laughingstock to a high-ranking team year over year until 2024 when they won it all in the college football championship game. And they whipped some ass. They beat Washington. They beat Alabama in the playoffs. Ladies and gentlemen, this team was amazing. Amazing on offense, amazing on quarterback, amazing on defense. That's what he brings to any team that he goes to. And the Falcons could really use him to mold the team, make them better, get the proper players in the appropriate positions that are needed, and become a championship contender. They could become a championship contender, ladies and gentlemen. So let's assume that Billy gets picked by Arthur Blank. Why would he get picked by Arthur Blank? Well, they're friends. He's had a lot of admiration for what he's done for the Kraft family and the Patriots organization. Basically, Arthur Blank is jealous that he doesn't have that type of coach. He doesn't have that type of key personnel or administrators that could bring him a Super Bowl. See, Arthur Blank is getting there up in age. He wants a championship. He wants to say, hey, Jesus, God, hey, look, I got a ring. Yeah, I got two. One for my wife and one for Super Bowl. Yeah. And Billy could actually bring him a Super Bowl. But there's a lot of demands for him. There's a lot of conditions for him. There are a lot of needs that need to happen before he puts pen to paper on the contract. Well, what are those conditions? Where are we going to go? It's simple. It's really simple. He wants full control of the organization. He wants to talk directly to the owner. He doesn't want a middleman. He doesn't want a president, Rich McKay. He doesn't want a general manager and Terry Fontenot. No, he doesn't. He wants to bring his own staff, his own offensive coordinator, his own defensive coordinators, his own staff, most likely everybody from the Patriots organization that's there, probably going to come down here. Because Mayo's going to need, well, the new head coach, he's going to need his own guys. Maybe some of his old guys, but I doubt it. Now, Bill Belichick is a ruthless man. He's won his championships. We can't take that away from him. But he needs a quarterback. And if he's going to be making the decisions for the draft, for offseason moves, it could be bad. Look what happened in the last 3 years. Look at what happened in his New Jersey Jets days, the Giants days, the Browns days. They weren't that great. I mean, he was a great coach, but they weren't that great. Now, if you bring it all in, and you have a quarterback, and you have a good defensive coach, and a good defensive system, and you got a great offense, maybe Josh McDaniels could come in. Let's admit it. Josh McDaniels is not a great head coach, but he's a great offensive coordinator. That's what they need. And that's somebody that, Billy actually trusts. And that's important to us. We need that trust. Because we need Billy to succeed, and he needs to trust people. So what's going to happen? They're going to fire Rich. They're going to fire Terry. He's going to be making all decisions. And basically, well, the friendship between Rich McKay and Arthur Blank is going to be gone because Arthur Blank wants a championship. And Rich McKay, well, he's going to be getting in the way if they hire Billy. By the way, Billy, he's not going to be here 5 years, 7 years. He's in the 70s. He's going to be here for about 2 to 3 years. And if he doesn't win a championship, he'll all be out in 2 years. All he wants is to beat the record and win more championships, just one. So you can say he was as good as Tom Brady. But does Does he have it in him for 5-10 more years? He'll say he does, but it's only 2 or 3. You'll see. So what does Jim Harbaugh bring to the table? Well, he's basically going to want the same thing that Billy wants. Full control. And he's probably the only person that I would think should deserve full control of any of the organizations he gets, whether it's San Diego or with us, the Atlanta Falcons, baby. But here's the problem, ladies and gentlemen. We don't know if he will take the Atlanta job. But if he does, we know he's going to have full reign of everything. He's going to be controlling everything. A team that is mediocre in the Atlanta Falcons organization is going to go and be a super team. He's going to have these guys go from 3rd, 4th place in the division to winning the division constantly, to winning in a division and then winning in the conference. I can see him, Jim Harbaugh, taking the Atlanta Falcons to a Super Bowl within 2 years. I'm not saying this upcoming year, I'm saying within 2 years. But again, the idea, the concept is we need a quarterback. And we don't have a quarterback. Now, the need of a quarterback is very important. If I was him, I would keep Terry Fontenot, tell Arthur Blank, I don't need Rich McKay. Arthur's great. Terry's great. He's not bad. He could pick. He picked some good players. Sam, you and I have a conversation about us moving for the number 1 slot, or maybe doing a trade with Chicago and getting their current quarterback. Either way, I think we will be great, whatever option you take. Chicago is our route to getting a great quarterback. I could develop the quarterback. I could show him the system. He could play in my system. Now, the other option is, if at 8, his Michigan quarterback is still in the draft list, he's going to pick him because he already knows the system that Jim Harbaugh likes, the system that Jim Harbaugh needs to play to be consistent. And that will make it easier on the running backs, the tight ends, the wide receivers, and the whole entire front line. Jim Harbaugh has a great defensive coach in Michigan, which he could bring in and replace our current defensive coach. If he's still with us, I don't even know anymore. Because, originally he wasn't allowed to do an interview, but now he can. So, what are the chances that either Jim Harbaugh or Billy is going to come in and take the reins? They're pretty good. They're the only two that are going into the 2nd round of interviews. Yet, there's still a 1st round of interviews that have yet been completed, which makes no sense to me. The Rooney Rule has not been enforced. Zoom versus in-person meetings are stupid. But let's assume it's these two. Who should Arthur Blank pick? Well, if I'm Arthur Blank, just Arthur Blank, not myself, he's going to pick Billy. Why? He likes him. He's always wanted a team modeled after his New England Patriots team. They're always going to a Super Bowl. Whether they win it or not, they're still consistent in the amount of time that they get into the playoffs and the amount of time they get into a Super Bowl game match. Who would I want? Who would I want if I was the actual owner? That's a different answer, and that's Jim Harbaugh. See, with Billy, you're going to have a guy who's going to be there 2 to 3 years, and then in 2 to 3 years, you're going to go through the same stupid process. Yet, his brother with the Ravens, been there so many years, came from the same tree line as Jim Harbaugh. The Harbaugh family is very well known in football. They're consistent, they are demanding, but they're fair. Jim Harbaugh would bring a system, a love for this Atlanta city that no one will expect to last more than 10 years. And yet, I feel that Jim Harbaugh is the best candidate. So let's say he takes my route. He chooses Jim Harbaugh. Overall, Jim Harbaugh is to me the best candidate. But to Arthur Blank, it's Billy. To me, you got to give him $120 million. Make it $140 million over a span of 9 to 10 years. I don't care. Make sure he makes more money than what he does in the freaking Michigan college system. Make sure that you offer $1 million more per year than whatever the San Diego Chargers offers. Jim Harbaugh is the coach that you guys need. Now, if we get Billy, that's great. We get him. Will he improve? Yeah, he'll probably improve the defensive side. Will he improve with the offense? Not if he gets a bad quarterback and he doesn't know how to make those decisions. So here's my question to you. Before I go to that question, like, share, subscribe, tell your friends and tell your amigos. Here's the question. You, the fan for the Atlanta Falcons, you get the position of owner. Who do you pick between these two? Bill Belichick or Jim Harbaugh? Let us know in the comment area. See you next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Peace. Go Falcons.